Hi everyone, stay tuned. We're going to test your knowledge of the Rider Waite Tarot deck, and you can learn some information about the symbolism and cards. Hi everyone, it's Ray with Tarot Living. Thanks so much for joining. So on my channel, we talk about all things spiritual. So if you're interested in tarot, astrology, psychic development, you'll want to subscribe and make sure to hit the bell notification to be sure you get an email when I do post a video. And to learn how to read tarot cards, join me on Facebook for weekly tarot exercises and activities under my private group, Tarot Living Study Group. The link is in the description below. So in this video, I'll be using the US Games Rider Tarot deck, which most of us are very familiar with. So you can see the back of the cards have the standard plaid pattern. So I'll present you with 11 questions per video. The first 10 questions will be related to card meaning, symbolism within the cards, and the occasional astrological question. After each question, I'll give you a few moments to ponder and think about it. Then I'll reveal the answer and provide you with some details about the card or symbolism related to the question. At the end, I'll ask you one bonus question that'll be a little unusual, so stay tuned for that. So let's get started. Here's your first question. Which card depicts a person wearing a fish around his or her neck? If you guessed the King of Cups, you'd be right. The fish is a fitting symbol for a cup card which relates to the element of water. The fish can represent emotions, imagination, creativity, and the subconscious. Because the King of Cups is wearing the fish around his neck, perhaps it suggests he really embodies or owns those qualities, as opposed to the page where we see the fish just popping out from the cup spontaneously. The King of Cups card often relates to someone who's caring, emotionally mature, and who can provide very good counsel or sound advice. Now here's question number 2. Which tarot card could be described as material acquisition, financial stability, and overprotection of money? The answer is the Four of Pentacles. This card's astrological attribution is Sun in Capricorn, so there's a great desire for financial stability and material wealth. Sometimes this card refers to someone who is miserly. Although that can be one meaning, Capricorns tend to be very focused on ambition, hard work, and reaching financial goals in order to successfully build a solid foundation financially. The difficult side of the card is that the person can also become overly protective or even stingy with their money due to fear of losing their wealth and security. Here's question number 3. Which card has a caduceus symbol on it? If you guessed the Two of Cups, you'd be right. In the Two of Cups card, we have two people who are in close connection facing one another, whether that be a romantic relationship, a friendship, or a creative partnership. But it can also represent a formal agreement or business partnership, because the symbol of caduceus is positioned between the two people. The symbol relates to the Greek god Hermes or the Roman god Mercury and brings in concepts of trade, commerce, negotiation, or merchant work. So this card can be more expansive than just a romantic partnership or love connection. Here's question number 4. Which tarot card am I describing? Quick thinking, curious, talkative, but can be immature or too blunt with regard to communication. The answer is the Page of Swords. All of the pages in the tarot deck relate to the beginning stages of development. This is because pages hold the nascent energy of the core cards, which is yet to be fully developed and matured, like we see in the Kings and Queens. Additionally, pages relate to being a student or learner of something new, along with messages being received. How you apply those concepts will depend on which suit you're dealing with. In this case, we're dealing with swords, an air sign, which relates to thought, communication, intellectualism, ideas, and logic. Here's question number 5. Which major arcana card is ruled by the planet Jupiter? The answer is the Wheel of Fortune. Jupiter is a planet that brings in positivity, optimism, growth, expansion, faith, and confidence. You can really see Jupiter's influence on the Wheel of Fortune. If this card turns up in a reading, it often suggests an opportunity, good luck, improvements, a phase of life, or change. However, we can't lose sight of the fact that the wheel is always turning, representing the cyclical nature of life, including the ups and downs. So if the card is ill-dignified or reversed, you might be experiencing a fateful downturn in life. Hopefully, Jupiter's influence can help you stay positive during a difficult transition. Here's question number 6. Which card includes the depiction of a snail? The answer is the Nine of Pentacles. The snail in this card suggests the person has worked hard to develop skills slowly over a long period of time, which have reaped practical and financial rewards. Slow but steady could be the lesson here. The woman depicted in the card is now able to enjoy the fruits of her labor and effort. The card is associated with Virgo astrologically, which is a practical, methodical, and hardworking sign in the zodiac. Here's question number 7. What shape or pattern do the pentacles depict on the Ten of Pentacles card? The pentacles depict the shape or pattern of the 10 Sephirot on the Tree of Life. Here is the Tree of Life diagram, which you can see has exactly the same pattern as the 10 pentacles on the card. So from top to bottom, they would be Keter, Chokmah, Binah, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, and Melkut. Given the Tree of Life symbolism on this card, its meaning becomes deeper, richer, and more spiritual. In a future video, we'll look more closely at this card and how the Tree of Life symbolism impacts its meaning. Here's question number 8. Which tarot card am I describing? Pausing, reflection, slow progress, and surrendering. If you guessed the Hangman, you'd be right. The Hangman is a very deep and interesting card that often suggests a period of pause or limbo, providing time to evaluate or see things from a different perspective. This card often tells us that we need to let go of something or surrender to a situation because we cannot effectuate change at this time. So the Hangman suggests a period of stasis, delays, or lack of movement, but also inner reflection, which can ultimately lead to greater spiritual awareness and growth when the period of pause is over. Here's question number 9. Which card depicts a scarlet ibis bird? The answer is the Star card. There is a scarlet ibis bird sitting in the tree of the Star card. There are many different interpretations you can find regarding the symbolism of the ibis bird from books. Generally, the symbolism of the bird seems to connect the concepts of intellect, communication with others, and spiritual mysteries. Some interpretations are more specific, stating that the ibis is a symbol of Thoth, an Egyptian god, considered to be a powerful symbol of wisdom, writing, scribing, science, and magic. This does relate well to the astrological sign of Aquarius, which is associated with the Star card. However, you can do more reading and research to make your own determination of how you would interpret the ibis symbol. And here's question number 10. Which minor arcana card shows a river flowing under a bridge? The answer is the Five of Cups. You can see the river in this card, which flows under a bridge on the right-hand side of the card. The quick-moving river could certainly symbolize how powerful emotions can feel at times. But I think it's also important to recognize that emotions do continue to flow and move as we process our feelings and let go of disappointment or pain. In other words, emotions are not meant to be stagnant or held on to for too long. So perhaps this card is about accepting that which has been lost and to move through the difficult emotions rather than holding on to grief or sadness. That's one way of looking at the meaning of the river. I'm sure there are many other interpretations as well. And so here's your final question, which is always going to be a little unusual and a little rogue. What is a blushing fool on the US Games Tarot deck? A blushing fool is a term used to describe the earliest printings of the Rider Tarot deck from 1971 to 72 by US Games. They are quite sought after by tarot collectors. So on these earliest printings, the fool's face has a blushed or blotchy appearance, hence why we call it the blushing fool. And you can also see that his hands are quite red. Compare that to a deck in about 1974, and you can see that his face is no longer red or blotchy. So if you're into collecting tarot cards, this is a bonus tip for you to look for one with a blushing fool. Thank you so much for joining Tarot Living. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up or make a comment. I love hearing from you. Take care.